All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Devin Haney responding to Pauli Malinaggi and what Pauli Malinaggi had to say about him ducking Vasily Lomachenko. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we'll be in the 135-pound division, talking about Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, and Pauli Malinaggi. Now, if you're not familiar with what's going on, make sure you watch this video to the end. Now, before I get into that though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Greatly appreciate it. Herbert Johnson, thank you so much for being there in the live streams, in the super chats and the cash apps. It really does mean a lot. And if you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more videos. All right, so let me take a little sip of the Haney aid. Oh man. I like Devin Haney in his response to Pauli Malinaggi. 100% on point. Cannot agree with the young man more. Now, first things first, obviously, Devin Haney is the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Just got done beating George Kambosos for the second time in Australia. Terrific fighter. Definitely needs to be considered to be one of the best fighters in boxing, one of the most accomplished boxers and fighters in boxing. However, his next fight is a question on a lot of people's mind about who he is going to fight next. So, as we know, the ESPN and Top Rank, ESPN and Bob Arum have already started talking about him fighting Vasily Lomachenko next. Vasily Lomachenko also says that he wants to fight Devin Haney. Now, I could have told you, and I did tell you, if you've been paying attention to the channel, if you subscribed, I've been telling you for at least 6 months that this was the path that Devin Haney was lined up for, because this was what Devin Haney has signed up for when he got the first George Kambosos fight. He got the George Kambosos fight. He had a rematch with George Kambosos, and the third fight was going to be Vasily Lomachenko. Why is the third fight going to be Vasily Lomachenko? Because Vasily Lomachenko was supposed to fight George Kambosos in the first place, but he went off to defend his country in the Ukraine. And there you go. Devin Haney comes in, fills in the gap, signs with Top Rank, and here we go. Now, Pauli Malinaggi, who is a former champion, former world champion, former commentator for Showtime Sports, and one of boxing's very good analyst, knows his boxing very well, but man, dude says some stuff that really does make you wonder about how open-minded an individual he is. He comes out on his show, Pro Box, and says that he thinks that, in short, that Devin Haney is going to duck Vasily Lomachenko, not fight Vasily Lomachenko, move up in weight. Also said something about, how Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. were ducking Vasily Lomachenko as well. So Devin Haney responds and says, look, I'm everything Paulie wishes he was. He's been hating on me since the beginning. I'm not ducking or dodging nobody. I've been waiting to fight Lomachenko since I was his mandatory. Put a little asterisk on that mandatory thing. Now, Paulina, get my D out of your mouth. All right, man. So let's talk about that real fast. First of all, Pauli Malinaggi, aside from the part where Devin Haney says that Paulie, I'm everything you wanted to be. I can't speak on that, man. Pauli Malinaggi probably never wanted to be Devin Haney. Wanted to win a world championship, no doubt about it. However, it is what it is over on that part of it. I've not been ducking or dodging nobody. No doubt about it. I've been wanting Lomachenko since I was his mandatory. Not true, because he was never Lomachenko's mandatory. And I just have to say that for the record. However, the idea that Devin Haney is going to duck Vasily Lomachenko, I doubt very much he will do that, because he's either going to do one or two things. He is either going to fight Vasily Lomachenko at 135, or he is going to move up to 140 pounds and drop the belt. In either scenario, neither one of those scenarios would he be ducking Vasily Lomachenko. Obviously, in the first scenario where he fights Vasily Lomachenko, it's not a duck because he fought him. If he goes up to 140 pounds, I don't think that's a duck of Vasily Lomachenko either, because I don't think the guy can make the weight. If you saw what he looked like in the weigh-in for the second George Kambosos fight, you will see that guy was heavily drained, completely dried out for that bout. He's a big guy, has been fighting at 135 pounds since he was 16 years old. I now believe he's 23 years old. So that's 7 years as a professional in that weight class. Would not be surprised at all if that guy moved up. Wouldn't hold him responsible for ducking anybody if he did, because you have a finite lifespan at that particular weight class. When you start fighting there at 17 years old, you're 5'9", you're a taller, bigger guy, right? Also, he's definitely not going to duck him or not fight him for fear of losing to Vasily Lomachenko. Devin Haney is an excellent, excellent fighter. Despite a whole lot of people thinking I'm hating on him, which I do not do. I just will give you the facts as I see them. I share my opinion as I see them. If somebody says something that is true, that I believe is true, if somebody says something is true factually, and it is factually true and can be verified, I will say that is true. If people are saying things that are not true and you can verify them with facts, readily available facts that disprove it, I'm gonna say that's not true. However, in the realm of the subjective when it comes to Devin Haney, there is no doubt about it in my mind that this guy is one of the best guys in the lightweight division, has the ability to beat anybody in that division. Would not be surprised if he beat anybody in that division. I will say at the same time, however, that there are people in that division that I believe have a good shot to beat him. Is Vasily Lomachenko one of those guys? I think, if the bout would happen very, very soon, or if it would have happened a year ago, 2 years ago, yeah. If it happens right now, I'm leaning definitely towards Devin Haney, because I think Devin Haney's the natural, bigger, longer guy, and I'm waiting to see what Vasily Lomachenko looks like in this bout that he has coming up. But the idea that he would not fight him, I don't believe that whatsoever. I think Pauli Malinaggi is just out here spinning yarn, in my opinion. Same thing goes for Gervonta Davis and Vasily Lomachenko. I think all these guys would fight him. I do think, however, that the business has to line up, and not because I want that to be the case that the business needs to line up, but that's just what it is. The business has to line up, and in the case of Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, that business is lined up. Shouldn't be any problem whatsoever with that. Think they're going to make the fight, and it's going to happen. But again, if it doesn't happen, not going to blame Devin Haney if he goes to 140 pounds, because the man looked drained. Not thinking that he's going to be overly worried about fighting or losing to Vasily Lomachenko. The only person that I think he may be hesitant to fight for that is Shakur Stevenson, but that's a subject matter for a different video. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.